good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and tonight we're going to talk about the brand new album by Metallica called 72 Seasons, and this is the band's 11th album, and the first one since 2016, where they put out Hardwired to Self-Destruct. So the question that I asked myself after listening to this album with repeat listens is this their best material after the Black Album? And I would say yes. Uh, After listening to the album for a few repeat listens and the four singles, Lux Eterna, If Darkness Had a Song, Screaming Suicide, and 72 Seasons, I've already heard countless times. And when I first heard these singles, I felt excited for the album. I like what I was hearing. I liked the riffing, the tone of the album, the sound. It sounded great. James Hetfield sounded invigorated, like better than in a long time. And even the drumming by Lars sounded good. Yes, the solos for Kirk Hammett, they're not like the most extravagant solos, but they serve the songs. And Robert Trujillo sounds great on it as well. So those four songs were promising. So I was a little bit excited for the album. I'm not gonna lie. So taking the fanboy out of me, because I've been a fan of Metallica for years now, since the 90s when I first listened to the Black Album, I listened to this album without, I didn't, first of all, you have to go listen to this without like thinking about the classic albums. Just go and listen to an album and form your own opinion while you listen to it. So it's called 72 Seasons, and James Hetfield in an interview said that about the album, like the concept is, the first seasons of your life and how those seasons form you as a person. So originally he wanted to name the album Lux Eterna, but he was outvoted. So this is the album cover for the new Metallica. And first, when I saw this cover, I'm like, that's a lot of yellow. And I was like, I'm not that keen on this album cover. I still don't love it. But after listening to James Hetfield talk about why it's yellow, so the yellow represents the light. And this album is all about a person's struggle coming out of like bad places in life. Obviously, James Hetfield has struggled with alcohol, divorce last year. So he's got some shit to get off his chest. And when he explained that the yellow means light and going to the light, I'm like, okay, it makes sense, because a lot of people might call this album the Yellow Album, since there's no, it doesn't say anywhere, like I don't see the 72 Seasons right there. I think it's somewhere there, but yeah, this might be called Metallica, the Yellow Album. So yeah, there you have it. There's the cover for this album. But yeah, again, I think that the cover I'm not super great on, but the explanation of the concept of the album, it's not like a concept album per se, but there's like a running theme through the songs of like going through like bad stuff in life that forms you. So yeah, the album starts with 72 Seasons, and I actually did like a mini video for this song. And at first I thought the intro was kind of long, but as I listened to this track more, it really grew on me. And I think it's a great album opener. It's 7.5 minutes long, and it's got a galloping, like it's a fast song. I got a lot of like vibes from the new British new wave of heavy metal on this song. And I thought it was a great album opener. Then you have a song like Shadows Follow, and that one I hadn't heard, and it's really catchy, especially the chorus, and it has some great riffing on it as well. So I really enjoyed that one. Then you have Screaming Suicide, which was one of the singles that they released, and I really like James' vocals on this one. Again, it's got a great guitar riffing. Some guitar riffings on this album might sound a little bit similar, but not completely similar, but I enjoyed them. Then you have two tracks that are more mid-paced, with Sleep My Life Away and You Must Burn. And Sleep My Life Away starts differently. Starts, I think the bass is very prominent on the beginning. There's like a boom, boom at the beginning that makes the sound different. And it's more slower than the first previous tracks. And then the track You Must Burn, I like the way that he's saying like you must burn, you witch, and it's catchy and it's a mid pace as well. There's some parts when the guitar speeds up a little bit. So those two tracks were like not as great as the first two, but they're not bad either. Then the mid pace of the album, you have Lux Eterna, which is the first single that they released, and that's a short song, but that song is so energetic and fun. When I listen to that song, I really get in a good mood. I like when he goes Lux Eterna and the and yeah, the solo that Kirk does on that one is very simple. But you know what? To me, it's difficult because I can play shit. But he even said it. Yeah, I can have friends that can play that solo a million times better, but it serves the song. And I'm glad that Kirk could get it like, okay, yeah, because he knows they're going to criticize anything he does with soloing and also the wah pedals. But yeah, I thought Lux Eterna was a great track for this album. And I would name this album Lux Eterna, but yeah, they went with 72 Seasons. But yeah, it's a very fun track. And I think that it's good to have it in the middle because after two tracks that are slower, having one that picks you right up, it's great, especially for the half point of the album. Then you have a song, Crown of Barbed Wire. That one, it's okay. Not my favorite from the album. It's more mid-pace as well. And the lyrics are not my favorite from this one, but it's not a bad track either. Then you go into one of my other favorite tracks on the album, Chasing Light. That's such a fun, energetic track. And on that one, the GAM vocals, Robert Trujillo sings as well. So I really enjoyed that one. I like having like those GAM vocals because it gave the song like this chanting, like a song that you could listen to live and just be like, yeah, Chasing Light. And some very fast and good guitar riffing on this one as well. So I thought that was great. Then they go into If Darkness Had a Song, and that's another of the singles that they released. And this song at first, I didn't like it as much as some of the other singles, but it has grown on me, and I really like the chorus of it. If darkness had a son, here I am. Like James sounds so energetic, and I really like the lyrics on this one because he's battling his own demons. Like he's done that in the past, but he's doing it again, and it's great. Then you have two tracks that are more on the short side with Too Far Gone and Room of Mirrors. And Too Far Gone, it reminds me more of that Holier Than Thou, like Don't Tread on Me, like type of riffing and like the Black Album sound for that song. And Room of Mirrors has a guitar lick on it that really reminds me of Iron Maiden. Like it's so good and really catchy and fun again. But the highlight of the album, Metallica Live for the Last Song with Inamorata, which is the longest track that they have ever recorded at 11 minutes. But you know what? It doesn't feel that long. It has like some doomier riffs at the beginning, but then it picks up and it's more mid-paced. But I really love the chorus of the song. Like it's all about like misery, like misery is chasing him and he doesn't want it, but he wants the misery. He needs the misery to survive, and it's all about like just overcoming the misery, and misery sometimes being part of your life and part of your friend. But yeah, again, there's some great solos on this track and riffing. I thought that it was a pleasant surprise, and I think that Metallica on this track experimented the most, and I think it paid off. It is a great album closer, and even though it's 11 minutes, it does not feel that long. So, on conclusion, 72 Seasons, I am pleasantly surprised. I actually really enjoyed this album. It's really a fun album. I think this is the most relaxed that Metallica has sounded in years. I think they just went with it like, we don't give a fuck. We're gonna do what we do. And this album pays a lot of homage to their heroes, like the Merciful Fate, those bands that they love from the 80s, Iron Maiden, everything, but also gives it a modern touch in the production. And that's something I enjoyed about this album. The production sounds well. It doesn't sound super compressed. You can hear everything well. It doesn't have the problems that they had with Death Magnetic. And they're catchier songs that they had on Hardwire to Self-Destruct. So yeah, this is the best album with Robert Trujillo in the lineup. And I also think this is the best that James Hetfield has sound in years. So 72 Seasons gets 2 thumbs up from me. Please do not sleep on this album and just go with it with, you know, an open mind and open ears, and don't compare it to the classic albums because, you know, this is Metallica now. So what did you think about 72 Seasons by Metallica? What are your favorite tracks? I would really want to know. So leave a comment, let me know what are your favorite tracks, what did you like about the album, what didn't you like, and what would you rate it? And also, if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.